All right, everybody. It is Katherine Moore and Tara Boothby, registered psychologist at Sojourn Psychology. And Katherine and I are considering all things festive. What are we doing this year for Christmas, Katherine?
Good question. I think now, with the world looking a little bit different this year compared to what the holidays looked like last year, I'm seeing a lot of people talk about what they could do, what they want to do, the possibilities that weren't maybe there last year. And that can be kind of consuming and overwhelming, because I think there might be this desire to do it all, make up for lost time sort of thing. I don't know if you're noticing that as well.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And I think it's like, some of us have had some awareness of how daunting we can make the holiday season. And I've had clients say to me, I have to tell you, last year was my best Christmas of my life because, the world became very small for many of us, all of us. We had to really hone in and create some magic in a very small format. So then what do we do here? Like, we have more freedom this year, we're anticipating. There's more opportunity to daunt ourselves. But what was meaningful last year? What did we learn that is worth carrying into our future Christmases?
Right. How can we stay, really attuned to what's simple and meaningful and not get too caught up in losing the focus on what's really important to every single person in your family, within your circle of friends, and within yourself. So I think with that being said, it's so important to ask yourself that question. Ask your family members that question of, as you reflect on the holidays that you have had, where does your mind go? What stands out in your memory as a connecting or enjoyable moment?
Mm-hmm.
Because we live in moments, we live in mini experiences, and it's not often a whole day of things. It's often these micro spaces that we hold that is really valuable to us. So it's nice to try and tune into that and focus on creating that or recreating that or drawing that out in whatever ways are possible, I guess.
Right. That's beautiful to be inspired. Like, who are my people? So even writing a list, who are my people? Writing down the people who I want to prioritize for Christmas. And it could be people near and far.
Sure.
Who are my people? And what are those things that are valuable to them? Mm-hmm. So that we can be inspired to maybe focus in on the meaning, what is purposeful for being with others. I think when you say this, Katherine, what comes to my mind is the love languages. Christmas is a time for love. So, it's that gifts thing gets blown out of the proportion. Is it as effective? Mm-hmm. But if we're putting it in balance of gifts, quality time, acts of service, physical touch, words of affirmation, mm-hmm. then it's like, well, maybe it's not all about gifts. Like, is that something we learned last year? Was it really all about gifts in people's households?
Yeah, good to reflect on. And maybe there is somebody in your household that it is about gifts for them. So, yeah, exactly. So notice that and make space for that and focus in on that for that person, but don't lose sight of the connections for other people as well, and weaving that in for sure. Yeah. So it's nice to get those reminders of, like, right, how can I connect to you? What is your love language? What is going to be meaningful for you? Can I meet you in that? Can we create that together?
Right. Can I meet you in your meaning? That's a beautiful way of saying it. And when you say weave, I think of tapestry, and it's like, there's this beautiful language of, if it's not just about presents and it's not just about the glitz and the glam and the this and the that, what is it? And I think something that I've noticed is people have been decorating their outsides of their houses more this year. Oh, yeah. And maybe that's part of it. It's like coming home for Christmas, this idea of having this home, love, family energy, and how do we celebrate that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I kind of look at all of these lights that are coming up sooner, and how much more people are putting into those those parts of their homes is like, I see it as like hope and hope for change and possibility of things, being different in some ways. And the light that you see on people's houses is kind of like the light in everyone that's still there, and it's growing and it's becoming bright again. So
it's amazing.
In my mind.
I love that. And what I talk to people when they're coming up to like special milestones or holidays, weddings, all these different things, is learning how to slow down, and like you're noticing those micro moments, take a snapshot with our mind. So when we're noticing our people and what's important to them, it's like we're noticing these mental snapshots with our mind. Yesterday or one other day, I was driving home from work, and I had the Christmas music going in my car because I'm that person. And driving down the road, so many houses decorated, and there was just this little exchange between a neighbor and this family, and the little child threw a snowball at his neighbor, and the neighbor just was so playful with him. And in that moment, I'm like, this is the type of thing I want to slow down with. This is the type of, I have that picture in my head. I'm taking that one with me.
Mm-hmm. That was a nice little exchange.
Yeah.
Witness and to be a part of in some way that obviously made your heart smile, and something that took from you of like, I really like those playful moments.
Yeah. And then it's the clouds parted and the light is shining on me now. It's like everyone's pleased with that story.
Yeah. And it just helps focus on what is here instead of maybe what isn't, right? Because obviously we're still in a pandemic. We're still navigating life in a different way. So there still is grief here. There still is loss here. And not just related to COVID, but that's life, right? So it sometimes is nice in just slowing it down to what is manageable, what is possible, and just for that second, letting go of what maybe isn't.
Yes. Yeah. Nice. Yeah. And let's keep it in check. Let's do what we can, go easy on ourselves, let's enjoy, and let's create joy for others. It's beautiful. Thank you, Katherine.
Yeah, thanks.